Richard, can you hear me loud and clear now?
Yes, I can. You
nice one. Great. That's better now. It sounds better now. Thank you so much for your patience and also holding on till we get it better. Now, I have been reading a little about you, but then for that layman out there who doesn't know RICHARDINE BARTEE, who is RICHARDINE BARTEE?
Oh, well, I'm a Recording Academy member. I'm a Grammy U mentor, and I am the Grunge Cake CEO. I promote music. Lately, within the last 5 years, strongly, it's been Afrobeats that I've been pushing. I've been blessed to make the strides that I've been able to make with the artists that I work with. And I'm just excited to be here. Thank you.
Nice one, nice one. How long have you been with the Grammys?
I actually was added on my birthday. I want to say maybe it was 2016.
2016?
Yeah.
That's been a long time.
Yeah. So
great.
5 years. Yeah. Wow.
How has it been working with them, working with the Grammys?
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. You get to learn a lot. You know, it's an academy. So the music institution, you learn a lot about music laws, music rights, you know, just everything, how to find the money in music, split sheets, all of the business things that you will want to know when you're coming in as someone that is green. You get to know through the Recording Academy. And then, you know, of course, we celebrate every year with the Grammys, but it's so much more than the Grammys.
Okay. Now for artists keep filing all the time now. How does an artist actually file for a nomination to be in the Grammys?
Well, what usually happens is that a label will submit the music, right? Put the entry in.
Yeah.
Or the artist. That's really how it goes. You do the submission through the record companies or Recording Academy members.
Oh, does it mean that if you're not under any label, you can't file?
Well, or you do it through a member.
Okay.
So that's how that. So basically, let me just explain this to you.
All right.
So, I'm a Recording Academy member, right? And if I'm working with, let's say I'm working with Oxlade, and I had part of that project, and you know I was pushing it, naturally I would want to submit that project or any other projects that I've worked on. So that's kind of like, for me, as someone who is part of the Academy, that's what I would do naturally.
Okay.
Or if I'm listening to music, if I'm not someone that is that involved in a project and I'm just a member, then, you know, if I'm watching television or if I'm listening to the radio or I'm seeing something and it piques my interest, then naturally that's what you would want to do. And normally what happens is, I mean, you get nominated through the voting members. So the voting members are the ones that have that power, the end all be all, so to speak.
Okay, so how many people does it go through for one to be selected? Like, do you have a particular number of people that's check all the submissions?
Well, I know that is volunteers. I'm not sure about the number. I know that there was a committee that was removed that the CEO had spoken about after the whole backlash with The Weeknd and how he felt about, you know, his album not being selected.
Okay.
So as far as the number of how many people, no, I don't know.
Okay. But do you know the number of people who actually filed for the Grammys this year?
Oh, there's thousands, so many.
So many.
Everyone's trying to, there are so many people. Right. I mean, you work at a radio station, you know how many people reach out to you just to listen to their music. So could you imagine, like, you know?
Uncountable. Now, something happened recently after the list of nominees were released worldwide. Something happened, and I just want you to clear the air on it, as in who a nominee is and who is not a nominee. Now, our very own Rocky Dawuni has been was nominated actually for, it seems, a global music category, and also some people also had some mentions in there. So Rocky's full album was nominated, but then Stonebowy also featured on some albums that were nominated. Our very own Stonebowy was featured on a particular, seems 2 or 3 albums by some Jamaicans which were all nominated in the Grammys for the reggae category. Now, some people were also tagging him as a nominee because he featured on those selected albums. Does that make him a nominee as well?
Well, typically what happens if you're part of an award-winning album or award-nominated album, then you're part of that album. So think about Beyonce's album, Black is King.
Okay.
And Wizkid was on there, right?
Yeah.
He was an artist that was on a song that was nominated and won. Okay. So it depends if, okay, so you have the primary artist, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the feature artist. I haven't listened to the projects that Stonebowy is on, so I don't know what part he plays. Like, is he just a feature? Is it on lead singles? Like, all of those things matter. But to answer your question, because he is part of that album, he's an artist that performed for that album, then we'll see. You know, if the album wins, then because he's part of that album, then he would also be somebody that is recognized.
So I just want us to have the clear difference between a nominee and somebody who just played the role, because Rocky Dawuni made it clear since he is a nominee, but he was saying that for Stonebowy he can't really lay hands as in he being a nominee or not. That is why I want us to, because as Rocky Dawuni, we know Rocky Dawuni is a nominee, but is Stonebowy also a nominee?
Well, okay, so what's the name? Let's look at Rocky's album right now.
Okay.
What's the name of the album? So I can look at the track listing.
All right. I'm trying to get to the album for you, but I'll get that for you in a bit.
And actually, Rocky's his manager hit me up today in a DM.
Okay. That's is it Alombini?
Hold on, let me tell you who it is. I don't know. He was sharing around the Grammy graphic. I said, "Oh, what is this?" He didn't even say good morning to me. He just said, I'm like, he must be excited.
So I'm trying to get the track list for you, so you check out the album that we're talking about. It seems Voice of Boom Boom. So you check out the songs on it as well. So for him, we all know as clear that he's a nominee. But as to Stonebowy being a nominee, that is a conversation on the street right now that people are talking about. So I'm getting the track list of it's a serious conversation in Ghana.
Guys, man.
It's a serious conversation on the street in Ghana. So I'm trying to get you the track list. So the album is Voice of Boom Boom. So you can check it out and get all the details to that particular one. Right. So for him, so that's why I wanted to clear the air on that as to Stonebowy being a nominee or not, because he featured on a couple of projects by some Jamaicans that were nominated.
Yeah, I saw some people tagged me in it too, so I know what you're saying. Let me look. See, I have to be very careful because I just need to look and make sure. So let me look. So the category that he is nominated in, let me see here, is Best Global Album.
Yeah.
Okay. And actually these categories, these global albums, there was a petition that was going around about 2 years ago, and we all signed for it. So, yes, I'm happy to be a part of that.
Nice one.
All right, I'm looking now.
So the track list, we have different. Seen it now?
I'm looking.
So for the track list, we have difference. You have My Baby. We have Vara, Ghost Town, Gonna Take It Easy, Beautiful People, Born to Win, and then Hustlers. These are the track lists on the Voice of Boom Boom Volume 1 by Rocky Dawuni that was nominated.
Which song is Stonebowy listed on?
So for Stonebowy, I need to confirm that as well as to the albums he was nominated in. I need to get that right. But then for that one, he was featured in some particular songs in those albums. I'll get that for you in a bit. That is why I want to know if he's a nominee or he's just a partaker and we can just get a certificate to that.
Okay, so to answer this question, right? I have to give an example.
All right.
So you see Wizkid, right?
All right.
And the Grammy that he won through the Beyonce album.
Yeah.
He was a feature on there as also with what's his name?
Is it Blue Ivy?
Well, Blue Ivy.
Yeah.
Blue Ivy won a Grammy, right?
Yeah.
She's on there. Her vocals is on the record.
Yeah, exactly.
The Brown Skin Girl record.
Yeah.
And then who's the other? St. John.
Yeah.
They all won Grammys.
Okay.
Right? So if a song is specifically the song, if it's like best new global song or something like that, and it wins, or if it's nominated, clearly he's a nominee.
Okay.
If it's an album that wins, you're part of a Grammy award-winning album.
Okay.
It's a little different.
Yeah, so this is an album and a single. So it's two different projects altogether. Right. That is why I'm trying to find the disparity between the two.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. So which track is it? Because we have to see how it's listed. It's like what? Yes.
All right, so we'll get back to that. I'll get to those details.
We keeping the Ghanaians on the edge of their seat.
I know, right? I'll get you all those details very, very soon. But then, one particular genre of music, and I'm glad you are personally championing Afrobeat globally. One particular genre of music that I want to wake up and see it in the Grammys as a category on its own. We all know how reggae has grown with time, and it's been in the Grammys, the likes of the country music and all that. But Afrobeat is big globally right now. Are we going to wake up one day to see Afrobeat as a category on its own, just like the way we have the hip hop, the country, and all the jazz and all that? Is there going to be a time like that? Because Afrobeat is big right now. Look at the Wizkids, look at the Davidos, look at the Burna Boys, look at the Stoneboys, all that you're doing.
Amazing.
All over the place. Are we going to wake up to see that? That's something I'm actually praying for.
Listen, so we have these conversations all the time.
Okay.
Whether it's fellow members or it's artists or producers, we have these conversations all the time.
Right.
And we've all been fighting for it to be even recognized as a category.
Okay.
At Apple Music, for it to be seen by BMI, all of the companies that I've been blessed to work with. Like, these are conversations that we have, and they're not easy conversations. So there's that, right? And then, but on the flip side, because on Twitter, when I'm on Twitter, there's also Africans, specifically West Africans, that feel like Afrobeat is a culture and not a genre. So there's a tug of war there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
I get you.
I'm asking you, as a West African, what do you think Afrobeat is?
Afrobeat is a genre of music right now, representing Africa globally.
Okay.
Straight, like that. Okay. No double thinking. It's a genre of music.
Okay.
Yeah. And for just for the record, the likes of Fela Kuti and co have all been championing this cause for years back, even before this new school guys started jumping on.
Of course.
It is not something that was cooked just yesterday. Just that the new school guys have added new spices to it to make it sound different as compared to the way the Fela Kutis and the CBSS used to play it way back. You get it?
Absolutely.
So for me, straight away, it's a genre of music, and I think we need to look at that from the academy.
Okay. Yes. You know what? There are people that are putting it together.
Okay.
And hopefully, we see it in our lifetime. I don't think it'll take that long.
Can't wait for that.
It's just, I think it will happen. But keep pushing for it. It'll happen.
Nice one. And one more thing, when it comes to the Grammy nominations, okay, there are loads of artists that when it's about time for them to select the few artists, they will be posting on social media for your Grammy consideration, hashtag the Grammys and all that, indicating their projects and the sort of global blogs and the magazines that they featured in and all that. Does it really play a role in the selection of an artist?
Well, that's just their way of marketing. They can't necessarily lobby to anyone that is a voting member.
Okay.
So that means if I'm an artist, it is against the rules for me to reach out to someone directly that I know is a voting member and say, hey, vote for me.
Okay.
So what they do is they tweet, they take out ads, billboards. If you're in like Los Angeles, you see some of these things. Like they have the traditional billboards that's around. So
people actually raise billboards for all that?
Oh yeah.
Really? Is that big out there, man?
What I'm saying.
Just for the Grammy consideration.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's one of the most prestigious awards in music, period. It's not.
Now
the top one.
Okay. Now the big question is the Grammys a worldwide award scheme or an American award scheme?
Well, it happens in America, so yes, it's American. It is an American award ceremony, and now we have global categories and international categories.
Okay. Now, how do you see African music globally right now? Because I know you are personally championing Afrobeat. How do you see African music globally right now?
I think it's amazing.
Okay.
I think that I've been learning about other styles of music from other parts of Africa. It's something that I'm very passionate about. I've learned about Singali. What I've also found though is that like a style like Singali is not really immersed onto the streaming platform, so it's kind of hard for it to be received as a commercial music release. So anything that is not a commercial music release couldn't be considered for a Grammy either.
Okay.
So that's very important. Like you need to be on these streaming platforms. It needs to be in the music marketplace for it to be considered commercial. So that's some of the smaller genres or like the genres that are emerging. Is very difficult for you to like find them and write about them, or for them to even be available in the US because of those restrictions.
Okay.
So, but I think globally, Africa is amazing. It's always been a place, for me anyway, where my roots come from. I mean, my parents are Liberian.
All right.
And it's always been a place that I've been looking at for what's next. Like I always felt like Africa was next.
Okay.
When I was working at MTV, for MTV Iggy, I was covering Francophone artists at the time, and it wasn't quite Afrobeats like it is now.
Great.
But just to see the differences and to finally, I mean, I grew up listening to Fela, but like now as a young person, it's like, okay, here I am, I'm listening to African artists who not only I feel like I can relate to, but like it's amazing, like the style. I'm talking about like fashion, like the culture, everything is absolutely amazing. So to feel closer, just through the internet even. I mean, a lot of these people we don't necessarily get to meet. A lot of them came to LA in October for the festivals and things like that. So I was able to meet a lot of the people that I've been pushing here. But Africa is amazing. Africa is it's the birthplace.
Thank you for the props. Thank you for all the positive vibe about Africa. Now, can you mention like 5 Ghanaian artists that you've heard of? 5 Ghanaian artists.
Oh, come on, of course.
So give me 5.
First one, Sarkodie.
Sarkodie one.
Manifest. Molly.
Who?
Jackie.
Who is the third one?
Her name Molly. Moliy. Is that how you say her name?
Okay, Coffee Molly. Yeah.
Okay, Molly.
Yeah.
There you go, Molly.
Yeah. And who else?
Okay.
So you mentioned Jackie. So Jackie is the 4th one.
Yeah, Jackie. Okay, there you go. And then, see, I like the Asaka boys. Like, I like everything.
Asaka, the Asaka movement. Okay.
I'll say I like Kofi Jamar.
Kofi Jamar.
Like, I like Yao Tong.
Yao Tong. So you have the list. You know the guys. Nice one.
Yeah, I can keep listing.
Nice one.
Everybody. Like, there's so many. I mean, Kwamna MP. There's so many.
You really know those guys. I'm glad you know all those guys. That's beautiful. It sounds great.
Of course.
Now, what's your advice for musicians in promoting their craft globally?
Globally.
Yeah.
So if you want to reach global, you have to make music that is made in languages with a large amount of people. So that would be either English or Spanish. So there's that. Like, so this is the thing that I always say to the artists that reach out to me. Sometimes what I can understand because I've been assimilated into the culture, another American person can't understand it. So if like the pigeon is too broken, then it's like, okay, we like this beat, but like, what are they saying? and then they kind of get lost and they're not really connecting. So if you're doing something globally, you should keep that in mind. Pronunciations, but I also don't want it to be a thing where it's watered down and then like Africans are trying to sound like Americans either. So it's very difficult. I think just follow the vibe. The production is great. If you look at a song like Essence, people will battle that is not fully Afro beats or whatever it is.
Yeah.
For the record, it is Afro beats. It's Afro R&B, Afro pop, and it has different influences in it. You know, the reggae and all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
they're speaking in Nigerian pidgin, and when you hear Justin Bieber on there, and he's talking about somebody, you know, saying it like Tim said it, he's not speaking American English. But that song is enough English in it for you to hear it, an American to hear it and say, okay, I can identify.
So for you,
what
language is number 1 point for you.
Yeah, if you want to make it globally, yes, people have to understand it. They have to understand enough of it, or like look at CK's song, or it has to have like a rhythmic value,
Okay.
for it to be hypnotic. You know,
because we have the likes of Angelique. We have the likes of Angelique Kidjo, whose songs are not and some of the songs are not even in English, but they are still global songs.
Give me an example.
I'm trying to get.
Because when you say global, does that mean it has entered also the American market, or is it penetrated in other territories outside of America?
As in the recognition she's been getting with the Grammys and all that.
Oh yeah, she's always nominated by the Grammys. Always.
All right.
She's fire.
How easily can an African musician collaborate with like an artist in the States?
You said how easily?
Yeah.
Can an African artist
collaborate with the people in the States?
Collaborate with someone in the States?
Yeah.
I think because I've been doing this actively, I believe that there has to be somebody in the middle ground that can explain the importance of the artist that is in Africa and the power that they have, and the same thing for the American artist. Like, what I've run into over the years is that people would be like, "Oh yeah, yeah, this sounds cool or whatever," but like they wouldn't know the power and like the what I would say like the weight of who this person is. Like, if I'm walking down a block, and I mean now I can say, "Oh, do you guys know who Wizkid is?" And it's but I mean, unless you know, like if you're a part of the diaspora, you already knew about Wizkid even before the Drake feature.
Exactly.
But you know what I'm saying? Like there'll be people that wouldn't know who Wizkid is, and now they know. But like I could go around with any of these Ghanaian artists that I mentioned, and if the person is not of African descent or they're not tapped into African culture, they may not know. But like these people are great in their own right. So someone like me would have to go to the American artist and say, okay, there's this wonderful person. His name is Saka Diaz. This is the list of things that he's been able to accomplish on his own to make it viable and to make it make sense. To basically say to the American artist, this person is on your level or they've already even passed you. This is why you should work with them. You understand?
Yeah.
And then you come with the production that makes sense for both entities. And that's where the producer comes in.
All right.
Right. So but Americans are learning more so and doing their own research, and people are interested in working with each other, but it's like they don't know where to start. They don't know who to go to, how to contact people. Some of them here are already established as well. So it's like, oh, I need to have my manager do it or my A&R. You know, it's the cool factor there. It's all these things. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily or is specifically easy, but it can be done.
All right.
With some teaching.
I get you on that one. Now, aside you being the member of the Grammy Academy, you are also a Grammy U mentor. What's the Grammy U mentor for?
So it's like any other mentor. So basically, I So I'm a Grammy U mentor for the second time. The first time was before COVID happened.
Okay.
And so basically what it is, you take someone under your wing who has the similarities that you have, right? They match you. It's like a matchmaking process.
All
Like
right.
based on what I do, they will pair me with a student. So it's about kids or adults, young adults that are in college and looking to break into the music industry. So people like me, we take them under our wing and we kind of just let them know like what the industry is like. Um, for me, I connect them with my network so they can make their own contacts. I let them know, you know, this is this person at this record label. They do similar to what you want to do. Let's go meet them. Like before the pandemic, I would take my mentee to record labels, to streaming services so she can meet people there.
All right.
You know, those kind of things. And any questions that she has, if I have the answer for it, I'll answer. If I don't, I'll get a colleague to just so they have real life experiences
Okay.
and they, you know, it's not really fluff.
Get you perfectly.
That's what it's about.
I really pray
Yeah.
time will come. You come to Ghana and meet some of our talents and give them all the guidelines that they need to have when it comes to the Grammys, because we want to see our stars also shine up there. You understand? And some of these things, they are
Yeah.
basic things that they don't know. But if there is a seminar and like you yourself, you are there and you take them through some of these proceedings, and the way you have Africa at heart, I know one of these days you just pop up and we put that together.
Yeah, one of these days I'll just pop up.
Nice one. Nice one.
Listen, Sock Nation is telling me to come for Rapaholic.
Sack Nation is telling you to come for Rapaholic.
Yes, they are.
Nice one. Interesting.
They're
Interesting.
telling me on Twitter.
That's great. That's great. That's
yes. You know, I try not to make any promises, but yeah, when I come to that side, I'll definitely reach out to you, and
Exactly.
we will see. We will see who wins the Grammys on January 31st, 2022, and
Nice one.
that's all. We'll see.
Now,
see.
before
Thank
we
you so
part
much
ways,
for having me
before
on.
we part ways, okay, I want you to touch on Grunge Cake. I know there are some people out there who don't know Grunge Cake. Aside you being with the Grammys, you are also the CEO of Grunge Cake. What's it about?
Yeah, so it's my my platform where I review the music that I like. I try to just talk about what I like, what I think is going to break through. Sometimes we do music news. We also have sports coverage on there now. It's an entertainment vehicle. We try to support what we like only, and you know, we try to be honest also with our reporting. It's way more emotive and heartfelt than a lot of the other publications out there. Yeah, we are really listen to the music and immerse ourselves into the music. So we don't necessarily compete with the news cycle in the way that others would, because we want to give more heart and soul and support. And we know, because we're on the ground and working with new artists, and we understand how important it is to really support someone, and the differences in what we say and what we publish makes the difference. It keeps them going.
All right. RICHARDINE Bartee, thank you so much. RICHARDINE works with the Grammys and also the CEO of Grunge Cake. She's also in charge of Grammy U Mentor. RICHARDINE, thank you so much for joining us on the drive of your life in Ghana. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Everybody have a blessed day and happy new month.
Bless.